Yeah, thanks, Sebastian, and thanks for having me here. It's wonderful to be here amongst friends, new and old, and there are a lot of people I know that are in the audience who I can see, but I haven't actually yet met Ian Roberts, but I can see him. He's in the back row. His head is about half a foot higher than everybody else's, so hi, Ian. Look, we've been asked to talk about to address a couple of questions. The first one is the business vote. And there can be absolutely no doubt that the businesses in the City of Sydney should have a say in the future operation and government of this great global city of ours. Businesses have always had the right to vote, but up until the changes that were introduced in the law in 2014, that was an elective right. It's now compulsory, but let's bear in mind that these businesses contribute nearly 80% of the rate's income that council then gets to reinvest in the community services and infrastructure that we all need, that we all want, and that makes our city a great and vibrant place to live in. So, on that note, it's great that we're here in a business environment again tonight, the SGLBA Forum, which of course is a terrific community group which does provide a lot of service for our community in terms of networking. And I was talking to June outside this evening before we came in, and he mentioned the fact that he's got an event coming up, but he wanted to make sure that he got all businesses in to that event, because we're not just gay and lesbian businessmen and women, we're just businessmen and women, and that's the important thing to note, and that's what we're here to do. Is we're here to create business, which then generates a great amenity in our local areas, in our villages, and makes them better places to live for the residents. In terms of the business vote, though, I imagine that a lot of you businessmen and women in the SGLBA probably only vote as residents because you live in the City of Sydney. So it's one vote for one person, as you know. In terms of questions about Oxford Street and the future of Oxford Street and my commitment to the community beyond Oxford Street, obviously I have a plan for Oxford Street. I've been very clear about that we need to take a holistic approach to Council's very extensive property portfolio on the north side of Oxford Street. I'd like to see that let out under a long-term lease to an operator, an expert operator who knows how to attract and retain the right kind of retail and commercial tenants for that piece of property. If we can do that, if we can get that reactivated, the supposed cultural hub has not been a success in my view. But if we can get those properties full of activated commercial businesses, retail and office businesses, we will go a long way towards reactivating the entire street. In terms of my commitment to the community outside of Oxford Street, obviously there are many things impacting us, one being the Lockout Laws. I have been an advocate for the winding back of the Lockout Laws. Obviously we're waiting for the handing down of a report from the Callanan report from the state government, which is due later this month. Hopefully that will involve some kind of winding back of the Lockout Laws, because they have really had a very big impact on not only the late night economy in our late night precincts like Oxford Street. It's had a very big knock-on, flow-on impact on the daytime economy in those areas, and that affects all of us as residents and as businessmen and women, small and large. Obviously I am a very strong advocate, as Sebastian mentioned, for marriage equality. I will continue to do that. We are looking at probably having to fight a plebiscite. The yes case on that needs to be very well organised. It needs to be united. It needs to be something that brings the community together to make a change that I very firmly believe will be a great one for our country. It'll be a very positive thing for our families. It'll be a positive thing for our communities and for our nation. It is something that I think the upside to the plebiscite will be that it is a decision, when the reform is embraced, that we can come together and support as a nation, as Ireland did. We might not want to go to a plebiscite, but if we go to a plebiscite and we win it, which I firmly believe we will very comfortably, it can be a unifying force for our nation. On the third question, the makeup of council. Well, I've been very firm that if I'm elected as Lord Mayor, I will give each and every one of the 10 councillors, irrespective of their political party, a portfolio of responsibility that reflects their interests and expertise and that enables them to become leaders in their own right, in their communities, and to drive the change that they want to see in their communities. Because we are all in this because we are committed to making a difference to our city, to our world, and if we can give that responsibility, hand that responsibility over to those individuals who are committed to that principle, we will get a better outcome for our entire city, which is what this is about. Thank you very much.